Okay. Officially starting this thing. Oh, I should put some music on.
What kind of music do you have?
Just the same thing I play all the time.
And what is it?
Hip hop, trap, industrial beats mix 2024 1 hour.
Huh.
It's got Rick and Morty.
I know exactly the one you made.
Mm-hmm. I've tried listening to the other ones and they don't they don't vibe as well. Or the ones that I've been finding are all AI made and no.
Yeah.
Alright, we are still picking away. Coloring. My boy. Hello! She is asleep under my desk in her pile of blankies, but not her heated blankie, because when I had her on her heated blankie earlier in the living room, I went to check on her, and she was not in her pile of blankies, but she was in the couch. And by in the couch, I shall illustrate this, because it was kind of funny how I'm panic looking for her, like, how do I lose a 5-pound lizard? But in her pile of blankies, she had... Oh, I hear Tatsu whining. So normally I sit on this spot of the couch, and Cleo hangs out here in her massive pile of blankies and pillows that she burrows into. And I couldn't find her here, so I saw like the tip of her tail poking out right here. And so when I moved the pillows, there's like this little void and a little tegu hand just sticking out in her tail, just out this way. And so that's where Cleo was. So I had to take the couch cushion out so that I could get her out. And put her stuff under here. But yeah, first thing she did when she came out of her enclosure, and she got out of her enclosure pretty late today because I've basically been asleep all day. Like, I wake up maybe an hour or so and then go back to sleep. We had a Friendsgiving thing yesterday at our house, and it was a lot of fun, but I worked two late night, early morning shifts at my day job, so I was very exhausted for most of the day and needed to catch up on sleep. But so I let her out, and the first thing she does is she walks to the, thank God she walks to the linoleum hallway, and she takes a massive dump. And it was diarrhea, so I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on her, because a lot of her food that I've been giving her lately has a lot of liquid in it, so I'm wondering if that might have been the cause. I really hope it's just, I hope it's that and not like she's got a parasite or something. So I just gotta monitor her for a couple of days. Change up what she's eating. She might need more fiber. But I know she's getting liquids because every time I make her food, I put water in it to make sure that she doesn't pretty much ever get dehydrated. So I worry maybe I might have given her too much water with her last meal. Oh, I did give her turkey last night, and apparently, because I was looking at, thank you, Tegu Reddit. Some people mentioned that they give whenever they gave turkey to their Tegu, they got diarrhea. So I wonder if it's the turkey I gave her last night, because we're doing Friendsgiving, so I didn't want her to miss out. So she got a hard-boiled eggie, and she got a little bit of turkey, not a whole lot, but enough. She was way more excited about the egg. And I'm still waiting for her to decide to brumate. Take it. Ready to take. And then I got a Riley sitting on my lap because she's going off her rocker. And I think she's minorly jealous that I was giving attention to the Tegu and not her. Mama, you want to move your butt up here and... No? You want to go in your cat bed? You can go in your cat bed, that's okay. She's got a little cat bed next to the Tegu, so... You haven't shown any interest in that bed for months, and now that it's next to the Tegu, you're like, my bed. You do you, girl. Oh, let me see if I can put the microphone near her. She's doing her cute I'm working purrs. I love that cat. Do you hear that, Riley? I love you. You're a good girl. Purrs louder. And let's see. Jeez, what did I do last week? I had my second day of volunteering on Friday. That was great. A nice thing about all my my reptile knowledge is that I've basically been able to kind of skip ahead on a lot of the process stuff related to training, because like I don't need an explanation on tongue feeding or gut loaded versus not gut loaded crickets. So I was able to kind of start doing stuff without too much zookeeper supervision, which was kind of cool. My car did run out of gas on the way to work. That sucked. And that was the day before Friendsgiving. I was so worried that it was going to be something worse than that, but I was sure I had enough gas in my car to at least make it to the next town over where my job is. But I don't think that my car's gas tank liked going up the hills to get to work. It was like, no, that's too much work. You are asking for too much effort with not enough gas. Luckily, AAA is the GOAT and came and brought me enough gas to get me to town, and I was able to communicate with my coworker, and luckily the event that we were working was not a super crazy one, so he was able to do the setup and everything when I was stuck on the highway or the freeway. And we had some very nice renters, which I appreciated greatly. They were a very sweet couple celebrating the wife's 60th birthday, and I guess the husband's birthday is like the day before. So that was kind of cool. And what struck me was when I got to work, the renter actually like came up to me and introduced himself, and then said that he was glad to see that I made it to the location safely. I'm like, aw. So that tells me one coworker was like probably talking with the renter when he got my messages, and two, the renter actually was a fairly decent guy, and his wife was such a sweetheart too. Like, this location I haven't actually I've only actually worked at once before. So, and it was during a church service, so there really was not much to do. And with this one, we have because it's a historical site, so there is the barn, like they call it the barn. That's the building that people can rent out for holding parties and stuff, and that's where some church services have their meetings, and that's where the birthday party was. And then there is a workshop next to it, and that's where they have all the storage for like supplies for when they do summer camp there, any kind of festival or whatever. And that's where the rental team hangs out for the duration of the event. And it doesn't have heating, and it is cold. Luckily, I knew that we were going to mostly be outside, so I brought the proper jackets and stuff, and even some pocket hand warmers that my dad gave me for Christmas last year. And so we're in this workhouse, and we keep the door open so that the renters can come get us if they need us. And the wife came out and was like, "Have you guys gotten some food? Please come in, get some food. Help yourself." Food was good, like delicious. Too bad the caterer backed his car into one of the oh, that's the wrong color. Into a short pole by the building, so that wasn't great. But easy peasy work day or work night, and then we have iPads that we check people in and out with. So I was because I got there late, I offered to take the iPad back to the main place where we work, so that my coworker could go home. And when I got there, I I knew a coworker that I liked talking to was going to be there, and when I got there, dropped the iPad off, they weren't in the office area. So I was like, I'm gonna go check on them, and they were still doing cleanup, even though it was after their rental's time. So it was a wedding that went past where their wedding should have been for the event. And so coworker had a new guy working with him, and I offered to stick around and help them finish cleanup and set up for the next day so that they could get home early. And so I did an extra hour and 15 minutes of work, which kind of made up for that hour that I missed being stuck on the freeway. And bonus, the renters at the second place, their decorators and bartender left a bunch of stuff. Like the decorators left a bunch of safety pins, like a box of them, and so like when people leave stuff, it either gets thrown away or we get to take it home. And so I was like, oh, I have a use for safety pins, and the caterer left a full unopened bottle of squirt soda. So I was like, I will take home the soda. And I didn't have to fight my coworkers on it because one of them's allergic to grapefruit and it's grapefruit soda. So I was like, I will save you from this because I value you as a coworker. So I will happily take this bottle of poison away from you. And then I got home, did some baking, and then got like 4 hours of sleep before people came over to visit, which was a very nice visit. It was great. Everybody brought like really good, delicious food. Yeah, at least the renters were cleaning, like, and they didn't look to be fighting the staff that was facilitating it. So yeah, coworker was like, yeah, they got here late. Everything started late, so it was not the smoothest or easiest rental. Whereas me, I was like, oh, our rental was great. They actually left like 30 minutes early. And schedule for December is already coming out, and my next couple paychecks are going to be nice. Which is good, because one of my Harbor Freight, which happens to be one of my favorite little tool stores to go to, is not involved with any of the blackout boycotts. So I might take advantage of some of their Black Friday stuff that they're doing, because I'm giving up on looking for my wire strippers. I'm just going to get a new pair. If I find my other ones, cool. If not, I have stuff I gotta do, so I need to get the wire strippers. And then I don't know how I feel about that pant leg. And yeah, leave it. And Harbor Freight is having some good sales on casters and wheels and stuff, and I've got some bigger enclosure projects I'm working on that could stand to have more wheels. They do need a stripper pole. Actually, they need 2 stripper poles so that I can have them hanging on a workshop area instead of just randomly put places. Because then they get moved, and then I don't know where to find them. And then a reptile heater goes out. And I can only do so much with pliers and razor blades. And I started sketching a couple of new pages at EC, so patrons are going to get some sketched pages to look at soon. And maybe I will... I think this page is the last one I need to color. And then I can just do a bunch of shading. Okay, let's fix that hat. Oh, wait, I did do that one, so that's all done. Glump. So how was your guys' weekend? Love wassail. Oh, that was one of my favorite things that I made yesterday was wassail, which Tim keeps pronouncing as wassail. It's wassail.
I've been saying it wrong all this time.
Yep. And it is a delicious, warm, fruity drink, which we will probably be drinking a lot of over the next couple of months or so, because it's great for helping prevent cold and flu. Okay, Ian, what is up with this liner? So wassail, which is spelt like this, it's a holiday. Well, typically it's a drink that's had during the holiday, but honestly, you can have it whenever. I make it when Lee or Tim are sick. But it's apple juice, cranberry juice, not cranberry cocktail. It's cranberry juice, like orange juice and a bunch of different spices, and I make it in when we're having an event or something, I make it in a crock pot, and I put some cut up oranges in it for additional orangey flavor. I did not know that they had made a second part. I only ever knew that there was a one part. Or did the first one end with the song Gravity? Well, I guess another thing that happened was I got notified that I got into the East Bay Alternative Zine Expo, or Zine Fest. So I have one event to plan for next month that I wasn't anticipating doing. Mostly because they, I applied for that show back in, August, September, something like that. And then they just got back to us. Oh, I see. Okay. I understand now. Aw, poor doggo. Yeah, I was just talking about, like, earlier in the stream that, Miss Cleo took a massive watery dump on the hallway floor, so I'm gonna be monitoring her for the next couple of days. I really hope it's just the turkey that I gave her as a treat last night. She'll be like, okay, no turkey for you. There we go. Oh, and I had a fun surprise of, we had a surprise guest. Well, not that much of a surprise, because I was given a 12-hour heads up that she was coming. But, my friend, who I mentioned, I had a music teacher for a long time that I just absolutely could not stand, and ended up befriending his daughter, who also did not like him, but, we became friends, and then I found out who her dad was, and, then the next time I saw her after finding out, I was like, oh my god, I hate your dad! And she was like, oh my god, same.
My.
Yeah. He was not a good dude. Is not a good dude. I didn't like him as a teacher. But the more stuff that I found out, about him as a dad was like, oh yeah, that tracks. But she moved to Washington a couple of years ago, and so I used to see her a lot more, but since she's in Washington, we don't get to hang out as much as we used to. But she was in the area for a short visit with a mutual friend of ours, and mutual friend was like, I'm going to Friendsgiving, you should come with. Let me tell Mel and see if it's okay. Of course it's okay. I told her, you could have just shown up with her and I wouldn't have had a problem. Let me catch up on the chat. I haven't seen Wicked, live or any of the movies, but I have listened to the soundtrack a bunch of times, so I've got the gist of the story just from soundtrack. Oh, and friend who, mutually does not like her dad, wanted, because I told her, oh man, I'm gonna tell, my live stream chat that I got to see, because I mentioned to her that, I've mentioned her in chat before, and she's like, oh, okay, well, make sure you tell your chat, next time you stream, that we're trying to come up with something to do to celebrate her, her 10-year, oh god, what did she call it? Her, 10-year cut-off anniversary.
Oh my.
Or estrangement-versary, there we go. Because it was 10 years ago that she cut off contact with her dad, and so she has the exact date figured out for next year, and she's like, yes, we are gonna celebrate. You really have to have failed as a parent if your kid is, actively celebrating.
I hear this, and I'm like, good for her. On the other hand, that is so sad.
Yeah, and she ended up cutting off contact with her mom, because her mom wasn't respecting her boundaries about, Dad doesn't need to know anything about me. He doesn't need to know what I'm doing. I don't want you sharing any of the stuff involving me with him. And she kept breaking that boundary and said, like, he's my husband. I'm going to tell him everything. I'm just like, okay, well, then I'm just not going to share anything with you because he doesn't get to be a part of my life with the way that he treated me and stuff. And, like, yeah, valid. Also, when I was, like, I can't really speak on her side of the stuff because, one, I can't really remember all of it, but I can at least speak on mine for that guy. So this guy was my music teacher for elementary school and middle school. So I did, let's see, so, okay, maybe I only had to deal with him for 3 years. It just felt like forever. Oh yeah, so I had him for, no, 4 years. Yeah, let's go 4.5. So, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I had this teacher, and he was so gaslighty, control freak. Did a lot of woe is me stuff, and my biggest gripe was, like, I was interested in music, and there was different stuff that I wanted to do with music, but I didn't want to play the same instrument for all the time that I've been playing the same instrument. I wanted to try out different ones. Like, I started with trumpet, but I wanted to try other instruments, particularly like percussion, and I wanted to do piccolo because it looked cute and fun. But he didn't encourage me to try anything. Actively, like, tried to keep me from advancing. So, like, if I'm playing trumpet, okay, can I at least try to compete for the next chair? And no, you can stay as like last trumpet. And I wasn't a bad trumpet player. Like, I was middle school average, but to move up in chairs, you had to quote unquote challenge the person next to you, and you guys would have to learn a piece of music, and then whoever played it better got to move up a chair. Never let me do that. And then my mom actually, like, campaigned with the Teachers Association, I think, to get it was called A period PE, but it was so what it was we were only allowed to take one elective, and if you were a band or orchestra kid, that was your elective. You didn't get to take anything else. So she campaigned with the school board and all this stuff to get them to institute an A period PE. So basically, if anybody wanted to take an extra elective, they could show up to school and do their PE credit before school started. So that's what me and my sister did, because she was a grade, by the time it got instituted, she was a 7th grader and I was an 8th grader. So for 8th grade, I did, my schooling started at like 6:30 in the morning so that I could get my PE out of the way. And then I got to take a different elective because my mom really wanted me to stay in band, because I think she saw some article or something that said people that did band got better grades and stuff, which, come to find out later, I'm on a couple of different spectrums. And if she had just allowed testing for that, I could have gotten accommodations for that. But no, apparently trumpet would cure me of the tism. And so, with doing A period PE, I got to choose a different elective, or I got to choose another elective to do, so I picked art. And that's when I got to meet the OG Miss D. I miss you so much. She passed away this year from... That's not what I wanted. No, don't get rid of that entire later. She passed away from lung cancer. Which was interesting because I don't think she smoked. But, yeah, she was one of my favorite teachers of all time, and actually encouraged me to quit band so I could take more art classes. Because I guess she saw something there, and she was like, why are you doing band when you hate it? You're so much better at doing this. Why don't you just drop band and just take more art classes? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I should drop band and take more art classes. And my mom was kind of like, okay, but I think you're making a huge mistake. And then
You showed her.
no, because then what happened was I went to because what happened was I had to get a parent signature. I had to get the signature of the teacher that I wanted to switch classes over to, and I had to get a signature from the teacher I was switching classes out of.
Oh.
And
Place your bets.
this guy gaslit me, and like my mom did not believe me when I told her that, like, I don't like this teacher, he's a jerk, and like I've had issues with him for forever, but my mom would not listen to me when I told her, like, I do not like this teacher, I do not like being in his class, I want to switch out. And so this dude, I went up to him and I was like, I need you to sign this because I'd like to switch out of band to a different art class. And this dude told me, like, no, you shouldn't switch out of band. You're a good trumpet player. We need you. The band needs you. Basically saying a bunch of that stuff. And I'm trying to remember what else. But basically he guilt tripped me into staying in band for the rest of the year, because that was another thing that I was getting told from, like, my mom and the band teacher was like, oh, you've only got like 6 months left and then you're gonna be going to high school, just why don't you finish up the year with band. That was another bullshit thing with the school, was if you're in band, like every other elective, it's for half a semester, so you get to do 2 electives in the year. If you're in band, that is your elective for the year. So band kids got it rough. And so he guilt tripped me so that, I ended up not turning in the paperwork for me to switch out of band and do something else. And I still did A period PE so that I could continue taking art classes with Miss D. Actually, I took her art class first, and then the next semester, instead of taking a different art class, I became her TA. And as far as I know, it's the only time that I've ever done TAing. But I liked being in her class, and I liked working with her, so I stuck around and helped new art kids and was part of the art club and stuff. Never tried to be president or anything with the art club, but I showed up to all the meetings, and I was that weird high schooler that still showed up during like various art clubs at the school, just to like go and visit Miss D, see some of the younger not classmates, some of the younger students, and like I would give talks and stuff for them. But yeah, once I got to high school, I still signed up for band because Mom really wanted me to be in band. Oh, so one of the things was with switching over to a different instrument. Um, he only let me do that once, and it was for percussion for one song for a concert that we did for school, and he didn't let me try anything else. So I was stuck pigeonholed to trumpet. And then when I got to high school, I got a new band teacher, and like first week of school, I told him that I wanted to play something besides trumpet. And he was like, "Okay, well, sure. I mean, I guess if you want to." Here, he gave me a piece of music, and for high school, I was like, "Can I switch to bells?" Which was the xylophone. It's like a xylophone, but it's not quite a xylophone. So I was like, "Can I switch to bells?" And he's like, You can try out for bells. Here's a piece of music I need. You have a week to learn it, and then when you come back next week, we'll test. And if you learn the music in a what's the word I'm looking for? If you learn the music substantially or like to my standards, then we'll switch you over. But the next week, after I had practiced at home and everything and prepared for this test, I told him like I was ready to do the test to switch to bells, and he's like, "I didn't know you were doing a test to switch to bells." So by that point, I was just completely done dealing with any kind of music teacher. So the next day, I showed up with paperwork to switch out a band, because they didn't have A period PE at the high school that I went to for a year. So I showed up the next day with paperwork, like, I'm switching out a band, I'm going to do art. Sadly, that art teacher was not nearly as good as Miss D, but yeah, that's basically how I got started. Let me check the chat. I don't think I can read No, I definitely can't read music anymore. That's a skill I have not kept up with in almost 20 years. I think. Like close to 20 years. I have not tried to read music. I can't remember the names of the notes. But I do know how to make the trumpet go burr. I just can't read the music. And I could play taps. I could probably still play taps, because that's less of knowing the notes and just more of like being able to change the pitch of the trumpet. Because fun fact, if you've never played trumpet before, trumpet music, like, it's not like you blow into the thing like you're blowing out a candle and it makes the noise. You have to purse your lips and do something kind of like a raspberry, and then the looser your lips are when doing that, the lower the note, and the harder you pinch your lips together, the higher the note will go. And I'm trying to think of a way of illustrating. I'm going to take the mic off so that it's not like I'm just blowing into the thing, but it's kind of this sound when you're not using the mouthpiece hooked up to the trumpet. It just sounds ridiculous, but then because of the way that the trumpet is made, it takes the noise, which is something like, it takes that and it goes through the trumpet and all the different components of it, and then it comes out sounding like a... And yeah, so like trumpet, after a while, your face and lips hurt from playing it because you're doing that. And it is, from what I understand, talking to friends who've played things like the French horn is the same way. Like, you're doing that same motion with your lips on the French horn, the tuba, anything with like the same kind of mouthpiece as a trumpet. You're doing that thing where you're pursing your lips together and just forcing air out of it. Tim could probably speak on saxophone better than I could, because saxophone doesn't use a it doesn't use a mouthpiece like a trumpet. It uses a mouthpiece more like a clarinet.
It uses a reed.
Yeah, it uses a reed. And how often did you go through reeds?
Pretty frequently, actually. Probably go through a reed every other week or so.
Because, like, trumpet, your mouthpiece is, like, that doesn't die.
Yeah, that thing's solid brass. You don't have to worry about it. Well, not solid brass, but brass. With the woodwind, there are different kinds of reeds. Saxophone reed is the same kind of reed that a clarinet would have, which was, I played saxophone. And it's a piece of plastic on the top, and then at the bottom where the opening is covered with a reed, which is a really thin, wide piece of wood that's held in place with a metal ring. In fact, the metal ring broke more often than not. You gotta get that thing replaced because it would get wet and corrode.
Hold on, Colin in chat is like, Tim plays sax?
Oh, I was terrible. I pretended to play sax.
You know, that's how I kind of felt about trumpet. Like, there would be moments in the songs where, like, it's moving so quickly and I wasn't given enough time to practice it, so I would just, like, hit random things and do random doot-doot-doots. And nobody could tell because there was, like, 8 trumpet players, so they're not going to hear the one trumpet player that's, like, falling behind.
Yeah, we had a bunch of saxophone players, so I was pretty fortunate.
And that's why middle school bands typically sound terrible, is because everybody only kind of knows what they're doing, and they're hoping that they're playing just good enough that you don't hear all the other mistakes that they're doing. That's my headcanon. Except for the, like, 2 or 3 kids that we had who were, like, savants. My mom wanted me to be a piano kid. Like, she's like, you have long piano playing fingers. You should be playing piano. But I hated piano classes. Like, I took one piano class in college, and it was not fun.
I might have gotten into piano if I'd started early enough. I wouldn't mind trying that.
Okay, so, like, not similar, or kind of similar, but not the same. With piano, I don't necessarily like playing songs. Like, I'm not trying to learn Chopin or chopsticks or whatever. If I'm playing on the piano, I just like pressing keys until I find a tune that I like.
Yeah.
And
just
then
tooling around.
Yeah, just tooling around. But I'll find a melody that I like, and then I'll just start playing it. And like I understand tempo. I know how to stay in time, and I know what sounds good and what doesn't sound good. So I'd be playing, because we had a keyboard at my parents' house growing up that I would just sit at, and I would just start tapping away on the keys until I found something that I liked, and then I would just keep playing that. And my mom thought that I was really good, and was like, you should be playing piano, you're so good at piano. I'm like, I'm not playing piano like somebody who's doing piano as like a thing does. I'm just having fun digging around on the piano, and it sounds nice.
I'm sticking around on the computer, on the piano.
Yeah, and
right now I am, because I'm exhausted, so I'm mostly just working on various stuff. I'm not actually
just doing fun stuff.
Doing a project. I'm barely doing anything. I'm mostly organizing all this stuff.
I mean, like, I'm not a piano genius or anything, like, but I dicked around on the piano just enough to where, like, if you walked in while I was playing on the piano, you would think that I was playing a song that was written, but then there's no sheet music. It's just like, oh my god, she must be a savant or something. No, I'm just an idiot that likes to tap keys in a rhythm that sounds nice.
Idiot savant.
Sure, let's go with that. Because I could pick up stuff pretty easily, and like, but I would not go as far as to like claim genius or anything. I just mess around until something kind of works. I will give Jerk Teacher this. He did introduce me to a lot of musicals that I ended up really liking. Like, he was one that shows Phantom of the Opera and stuff. Honestly, would have been a terrible teacher if he didn't show us Phantom of the Opera, but, you know, he at least let us watch Phantom of the Opera and gave us information on that. Oh, fun story of Phantom of the Opera. So after being introduced to Phantom of the Opera in middle school, for Christmas, I had mentioned that I wanted the Phantom of the Opera DVDs because I really liked the movie. And so my mom got me a Phantom of the Opera, but I'm going to see if I can find it. I'm trying to look up a picture because it wasn't the Phantom of the Opera, the 2004 one that I wanted. It was the Robert Englund Phantom of the Opera.
Oh no! Oh no!
So you know what one I'm talking about.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. So
it's not Phantom of yeah.
And so I'm watching this and I'm like, this isn't the Phantom of the Opera that I watched in middle school. And then there's like this movie had a lot of nudity. And so I'm watching this and there's this guy is like, there are full on titties in this. I'm like, this was definitely not the one that I watched in middle school. So yeah, fun fact, there is a, there is a Phantom of the Opera movie that's a horror movie, and it stars Robert Englund, who is most known for playing Freddy from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I cannot remember this movie beyond, like, a couple of things, but I just remember getting this movie for Christmas, and my mom was so happy. They're like, look, me and your sisters found the Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, Mom, this is not the Phantom of the Opera that I watched. And quite frankly, I don't think you would approve of me watching this Phantom of the Opera. God, I completely forgot about that until I started talking about Phantom of the Opera. Oh my god, Robert Englund looks so weird as not Freddy. Oh yeah, and it's like, in this movie, like, Freddy was, not, the Phantom of the Opera, was like a demon or something. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about that movie. Whew. So yeah, Phantom of the Opera. There are multiple different versions. Also, middle school is like the worst time to introduce kids to Phantom of the Opera without context, because my friends and I were so confused about, like, why would Christine choose Raoul? Why wouldn't she go with the Phantom? The Phantom's like way cooler. It's like, no, the Phantom was obsessive and all this other stuff, but yeah, nobody gave, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, nobody did, like, a recap of, or not a recap, kind of like a book club. Nobody did an examination of the film afterwards to see where the young children who just watched this movie might be, or might be thinking about the movie. They might have completely missed the whole context of the movie. Like, half of us did. Miss what's obsessive? Yeah, he was obsessive, and he basically groomed. No, he did groom. He groomed this child to end up with him, which is leagues of creepy. Have I talked about the Andrew Lloyd Webber sequel to Phantom of the Opera at all? Like, I know I've yapped about it to Lee and Tim, but I can't remember if I've ever talked about it on stream before, or if any of you even knew that there was a sequel to the Phantom of the Opera. And after having brought that up, I need to bring up a very good video about it. And by very good, I mean it's a... Oh my god. Yeah, so it is called Love Never Dies. And there is... Oh my god, they have the movie on here. The music is catchy, but there is an entire, like, 8-minute song where the Phantom and Christine are basically singing a song about the night that they hooked up on Christine's wedding night to Raoul. Which I am just going to read some of the choice lyrics. And the thing that I love and hate about Love Never Dies, because Love Never Dies is my guilty pleasure. Like, it is not good. I know it is not good, but there's something about the music that just makes my brain go, yes. So TLDR, this happens this takes place 10 years after the issues that happened in France, and the Phantom got away and got on a ship to New York City, to Coney Island, and opened up a circus there, a freak show. Yes, Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote this based off of basically a fan fiction that somebody had made. There is, I'm looking for the video. There is a video that somebody did of a breakdown of this, and it is the best breakdown, and it gives some information that I can't remember. But anyways, so the guy that plays the Phantom in Love Never Dies, the original run, is the singer Raman Kalu, and I love his voice. I'm gonna pull a picture of him because he's also not bad looking. And it's a little concerning that this remembers that apparently I've looked him up before. Oh, yep, okay. Tim?
Yep.
This guy played the Phantom in, he played the Phantom in Love Never Dies. Yeah, so, okay. No, I'm just gonna go with this one. I'm just gonna go with this picture. Okay, so yeah, this guy right here played the Phantom in Love Never Dies. This guy right here played the Phantom. Let's just... I'm a menace. I have drawing programs. I will use them. And might I say, this guy's voice, beautiful.
Voice of an angel.
Yeah, here you go, Tim.
Angel of music.
I'm a menace and I know this. People don't come here to watch me draw. They come here to watch me talk about stupid shit. So yeah. Chris, so carrying on with the story. Is there a Mrs. Phantom or so, while I'm looking for this video, so the Phantom was in New York on a Coney Island, and Meg Giry and Madame Giry left France to go with the Phantom and help him set up help him set up this this carnival thing. Let's go with review. There we go. It's called Love Never Dies, the Magnificent Trashfire sequel to the Phantom of the Opera. I'm gonna pop it in the chat. It is 44 minutes well spent. Let's see, copy URL. And so this video basically gives a breakdown of everything, including the creation of the fan fiction that Andrew Lloyd Webber based the musical off of. So link is in the chat. I mean, I wish this would just... No, I want to see the... It's like, here. No, I want to see the... Fine, don't show me the thumbnail. Ho. Print screen cap. So it's by a YouTuber called Lindsay Ellis. Copy. Okay, so if you're looking it up, you're looking for this video. This video is a fantastic breakdown of this garbage series of a musical. So yeah, and Christine and Raul got married, and Raul lost all of his money in gambling and was basically sending his wife out to do musical gigs to give him all the money, and he was a drunk and an abusive husband, and so they are invited to Coney Island for Christine Daae to give a retirement concert, and then they find out that it was the Phantom that sent for them, and Christine and Raul have a son. God, what was that kid's name? I hated this kid's name. Was it Gaston? No, it wasn't Gaston. Anyways, I can't remember the kid's name. It's some name, and so this kid's supposed to be French, since they lived in France, and he's not like a little British kid. Oh yeah, so then she finds, so her first night there, the Phantom, Gastoff, no, Gastoff. I cannot remember this kid's name. So anyways, the Phantom makes himself known to Christine, and, so he's just like, ah, yes, my Christine, I have brought you back to be with me. And she's like, I'm married, dude. And he's like, but you know you want me, right? And she's like, oh, I do want you. I mean, I did come back to see you, like, the night before my wedding. And then that leads into the song Beneath the Moonless Night, which I know that Lee's face, she knows. She's gone through this. I've told her about this garbage musical, so, like, before. So, they do this song where they're just talking about how, like, the first part's like, I should have known that you'd be here. I should have known it all along. This whole arrangement bears your stamp. You're in each measure of that song. How dare you try to claim me now? How dare you come invade my life? And so basically she's like, she showed up the night before her wedding, and she was like, I'm gonna be with the Phantom. And so she goes back to to the catacombs of the opera house. And she finds him, and it's just like, I choose you, hot masked guy. Oh, Lee. So, I already showed them this, but this was the, Where'd it go? This was the Phantom.
No fucking wonder.
Yeah.
You make me lose count.
That's the Phantom from Love Never Dies.
Damn.
So she goes into the catacombs, and there's like no light or anything, but she does find him. And so then it goes on into talking about how like we couldn't see each other like in once there was a night beneath a moonless sky, too dark to see a thing, too dark to even try. I strode to your side to tell you I must go. I couldn't see your face, but sensed you even so. And then it goes on into like, and I touched you, and I felt you, and I heard those ravishing refrains, the music of the past, the singing in your veins. And then it just keeps going, and then going until it gets to, like, oh my god. And I held you, and I touched you, and embraced you, and I felt you. And with every breath and every sigh, I felt no longer scared, I felt no longer shy. At last our feelings bared beneath a moonless sky. And blind in the dark as the soul gazed into soul, I looked into your heart and I saw you pure and whole, cloaked under the night with nothing to suppress, a woman and a man, no more, yet no less. So they hooked up, and so then, it keeps going on with that. It's like, and I caught you, and I kissed you, and I took you, and caressed you. With a need too blatant to deny, and nothing mattered when, except for you and I. Again, and then again, beneath a moonless sky. And so then after they're done and they're like sleeping next to each other, the Phantom gets a conscience suddenly, and he's like, and then when it was done, before the sun could rise, ashamed of what I was, afraid to see your eyes, I stood while you slept and whispered a goodbye, and slipped into the dark beneath a moonless sky.
You know, despite all the
He hit it and quit it.
He hit it and quit it. And she wakes up the next day and was like, excuse me, you ditched me. I was about to leave my future husband at the altar to go with you, but when I woke up, you were gone.
Yet.
No, yeah,
that was
the groom.
exactly what he wanted.
The groom. Right?
Not exactly what he wanted.
Tim is so mad.
This is
It's so bad.
Exactly. Whatever.
So that is the
things to worry about.
that is the most cringe-inducing song of the whole thing. But then later on, as the thing goes on, so after the song goes on, she basically tells him like, yeah, you left me. Where'd it go? She basically told him like, you didn't leave me alone. You left me with a child. And the Phantom is like, shocked Pikachu face. So the Christine's kid is not Raoul's kid. Christine's kid is the Phantom's son. And
I was so pissed off, I gave him a stupid name.
Yeah, and Raoul knew this.
Oh, that's
like he just knew. He's like he never connected with this kid, and so that just made him like that turned him into kind of an alcoholic gambler.
The day that child was born, he says, "What a little freak show."
Right.
And like the thing is, he's a normal looking kid. Like, he didn't get any of the disfiguration that the Phantom had.
Just the good stuff.
Okay, but here's the extra like cracked part of this. So Meg Giry and Madame Giry are the villains.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
They are the villains in this garbage musical. When they got to New York, as you find out through various stories and stuff that they sing about, when they got Madame Giry used what little money she had to get them to New York, and then when they were in New York and he was composing music and stuff, Meg was out selling her body to politicians and rich people to get money so that the Phantom could build his carnival, because she is in love with the Phantom and she is singing his music and like being his hype person, and she's basically like, "Notice me, senpai. I really want you to notice me, senpai," and he is not noticing. And Madame Giry is like, "Don't worry, Meg. If you whore yourself out some more, the Phantom will definitely notice you."
Yikes.
It's so bad. And if you're not gonna watch the video on this this garbage musical, I have no problem spoiling the ending of this. So the Phantom basically goes behind Christine's back and finds Raoul and makes a bet with him because he's a gambling man. So he said the bet was basically like he was like, "You know the kid's not yours, right? Like, this kid's mine, and Christine and me still have kind of this thing between us, and you're just a beard, you know that, right? Okay, so here's my bet to you, because I know you're a gambling man. So let's bet on her love. If she sings the song that I wrote at this opera party thing, you leave her, you leave the kid, and they stay with me. If she refuses and goes with you, I will pay off all of your debts. Every debt that you have, I will pay them off, and you guys go on and live your life together." And so Raoul goes to Christine, and he's begging her to please not do this. Like, the three of them could just leave, and he'll be a better dad, he'll be a better husband if they just leave that night. And Christine has no idea about this,
Wager.
I just realized I was coloring on the wrong
Gentlemen
layer.
do not bet, they wager.
Yeah, they wagered. So he told her, like, "Please, can we just go? Like, for the sake of our marriage, for the sake of our family." And
She doesn't want you.
and like I said, Christine does not know about this. The Phantom went to the bar that he was, that Raoul was getting drunk at, and made that wager. And so Christine's like, "No, we can't leave. This is my job. I'm getting paid to do this. Like, you're being weird."
What were you using to score it? What were you using to score it?
I was just taking a X-Acto knife and being gentle with it.
Here, I can show you where the scoring thing is on it.
No,
you
it's
found
a
it?
little... That,
Yeah.
I think.
Wait, let me see. Yes. Or that makes it so it's a tear off.
Okay, no, I don't want that.
Scoring is right there.
That's the score?
Yeah.
What's the score?
Alright.
So yeah, Raoul or Christine goes out on stage and sings the song called "Love Never Dies," title drop. So she goes and does her job.
The audience applauds.
Audience applauses. Raul is sad, so he gets on the next ship and leaves because his wife has effectively, quote unquote, chosen to stay with the Phantom, even though she did not know that there was any, like, if she had been told about that, she may have, I don't know, been like, okay, like,
I am not some prize to be won.
Yeah. So then, after the concert's done, her son is missing. And so, the Phantom is like, Raul, that piece of shit, stole my son. And it wasn't Raul. Meg Giry kidnaps the kid at gunpoint and takes him out to the bridge and is about to have him do a long walk off of it. Because she thinks, like, oh, the Phantom, he's distracted. He's distracted by this child, and once this kid's gone, then he'll only be able to focus on me. So, Madame Giry, the Phantom, and Christine go to the pier and find Meg with Gustav. His name's Gustav. Stupid name for a child. And watch, there's somebody in the chat that's gonna be like, my name's Gustav, you prick! So anyways, child's name is Gustav. So, Meg, is, like, getting ready to throw this kid off a pier. And they show up, and so then she, like, holds the kid hostage with the gun and is just like, you guys stay back! And is telling, like, they're trying to, hostage negotiate. And the Phantom is doing a fantastic job, when she tells him, like, I'm doing this for us, because I've always been there for you. I have sold my soul and my body for you, and I've done everything to get you to notice me, and you never notice me, even though, like, I love you. Like, I have done more to show my love for you than that bitch. And so, the Phantom, being the smooth, graceful talker that he is like, give me the gun, Meg. Like, you don't have to do this. It's okay. Just accept that you will never be as talented or pretty or as, like, alluring as Christine, and then we can make this all better. And so she snaps. It's like, Christine, it's always Christine! And shoots Christine. And then she dies. And that's where the play ends. And that is my 45-minute unhinged breakdown of Love Never Dies.
Hope it was worth it.
I feel like garbage anytime I talk about this musical, because I know it's bad, but there is something about it that just makes my brain go, I'll listen to it again, maybe it'll get better. So yeah, no one gets Christine, but the Phantom's got a new son. Ugh. And on that note, I should have taken a break earlier, so I'm gonna pull up the break graphic and I'm gonna go get myself a snack and refill my wassail, because so much talking. But yeah, you guys can sit with that for a bit. And, I'll be back, and we can talk about more garbage stuff. My garbage taste in musicals. Okay, I am back. I think now I'm supposed to be coloring. Background stuff. I need depth for reference. Did I save the wrong thing? Come on, computer, keep up. Okay. Let's see if I can fix this. Yes. Okay. Background colors. Furniture. Let's see what other. Nothing really crazy has happened at the zoo that I'm volunteering at, so I don't really got much stories for that. Other than I think my favorite part is cleaning up the Aldabra giant tortoise enclosure, the night house, because that's where they sleep at night. It's fully heated, so they're going to be spending a lot of time there soon, because winter. And it'll probably be my least favorite place to be when I have to clean it with 9 giant tortoises in the way, so that'll be interesting. People who are in the EC Discord got to see pictures that I posted of me hanging out with the giant tortoise. And besides that, I got to help feed and do science regarding some orchid mantises. And they are very cute. 1010, want to pet, no I should not. And for people who may not know what an orchid mantis looks like, orchid mantis. Because I'm sure you could look up pictures of it, but why do that when I can pull up pictures This kind of looks like the ones that I was feeding. Copy image. So yeah, there's a collection of orchid mantises that we're taking care of and raising up. And I've learned a lot about mantises in just one short hour of, no, God, it wasn't even an hour. We've done taking care of all the specimens in 30-45 minutes. So stuff that I have learned is that orchid mantises only live for a couple of months, and the males actually live for significantly less than the females. So the female orchid mantises live for about 8 to 9 months, and male orchid mantises only live for, on average, 4 to 6 months ish, being generous. But for the case of breeding and categorizing them or cataloging them for studies that the zoo's doing, which I can't talk much about because one, I don't even understand it. Actually, it's mostly that I don't understand it. But basically, what we do is we check on the babies and here we go, because they're dinky. Copy image. So the babies are teeny tiny. They usually look like this. Staying warm and staying sane is valid. Once this live stream's done, I'm gonna cuddle up with my fuzzy blankies and my Tegu on the couch and show Tim a spoopy video. So anyways, the orchid mantises are kept in these little containers, and so one of the things that they're doing is they're tracking their molts whenever they molt their exoskeleton, which they called it something else than a molting or a shedding. But so as they molt and get bigger, you start to see them change, and it's easier to tell whether it's a male or female, because when they're before the third or fourth molts, it's really difficult to tell exactly which one is male, which one's female. So they started doing different tests for the molts, or they're keeping track of the molts to figure out at what point is it easiest to tell, and if they can time exactly when they are going to molt. So as soon as they hatch, that technically counts as the first molt, and then the second molt happens so many days later, third molt happens so many days later, and so they're keeping track of that, and they're finding some really interesting findings with it. And fun fact, this mantis is getting closer to end of life because the eyes are starting to turn purple. And it was, oh Jesus, that was not the right thing that I wanted. So it was pretty funny while I was opening the containers to check on the mantises and stuff. So I'm standing here just, oh, that's the eraser. No wonder I'm not making any marks. And like they're so tiny and so cute, and I never thought that I would seriously look at a mantis and be like, I want a pet mantis now. Because they're pretty big in the pet trade, and I've seen them at shows and stuff, so it's like I wasn't completely surprised to see mantises while I was volunteering, but it's kind of one thing to see them in an expo and another thing to be like, I wasn't actively handling them, but like handling them enough. And I got a big comfy sweater to wear. Well, sweatshirt. I was hoping for a hoodie, but I'll wear it. It keeps me warm. So like they're just these little deli cups with sphagnum moss and stuff inside of it to keep it moist. And so my job was to open the lids, check on the mantis if it was alive, dead, or if there was shed. And each one of the cups was like so it's like they're like those cups that you get now when you get takeout soup. It's like plastic cup. Sphagnum moss everywhere. Like a stick or two for enrichment. And then these dinky little mantises just hanging out in this cup. Oh, and each cup comes with their own, like, they got a little tag, and it's got all the information on them. So unlike the other animals in the zoo, the inverts, which is the bugs, short for invertebrate, because their life cycles are so quick, they don't name each and every bug because they populate too quickly, they die too quickly, so they're just they're given like just basic knowledge on them. So it's like different codes for like when they were born or hatched, the dates, different stickers to tell like how much one gets fed over the other, because there's some that are like, hi baby, did you want to learn about the mantises too? Come here. Hi baby. Oh, she's purring. Do you have important things to share with the listeners? She has very important purrs to give. There, mama. So specimens, and then we have sections on the card where it's like, did you find a molt? Cool. Write down the date when. God, I hope we're not eating bugs again. We do use them as feeders for other animals, though. So, like when we were feeding the black tree monitors, we went back into the bug room and got a bunch of dubia roaches to share or to feed them. Which, for people who don't know what a black tree monitor is, I will pull up a picture because they are very cute. One of the black tree monitors' name is Voldemort. He's old. They're tiny little dinosaurs. Here we go. This is a good size. So hopefully I'll get to I want to get on the good side of these guys because they're adorable. But they are about a third of the size in mass of Cleo. They're tiny compared to Cleo, so it's funny walking in the zoo and hear people looking at them and be like, "Oh, those lizards are massive," and I'm like, "My tegu's bigger." Oh, if that thing bites you, it could like tear chunks out of your skin. And I'm like, my tegu bites harder. I haven't been bit by these guys yet, but I'm sure it's bound to happen. But I'm not too worried about getting bit by them because they're small. If I can get bit by the tegu and be fine, then I'm not really too worried about like a lizard that's significantly smaller. You just be like, "Ow, you butthead, that hurt." So yeah, with opening the lids to check on the mantises and stuff, sometimes they like to hang out on the lid. But every time I open up the container to check on them, they would stop what they're doing and look up at me. Like, very judgmentally, I might add. Like, excuse you, the fuck? I'm gonna pull up a picture of a mantis again, because I'm not the best at remembering. Wait, did I bring up? Yeah, I did bring up the Livestream monitor. They're cute. I love them. Let me erase that a little bit. That did not do what I wanted. Sure, there we go. So there would just be this dinky little mantis. Like, that big. But the funny thing would be yeah, they stand there and they judge you for opening their cup like rude. Oh, Lee's watching Spy Family for the umpteenth time, so that's Anya's voice actor being obnoxious. I can't get into the anime. Like, I like the manga. I've read through it. But I do not like the anime specifically because of Anya's voice actor. I cannot stand hearing an adult try to play a child. Because she's not doing it that well, in my opinion. So yeah, I would open the lids to these things, and then these little mantises. Figure out how to draw magnification later. But they just look up at me so judgmentally. So now I'm going to try to draw a judgmental... I'm going to try to judge a judgmental orchid mantis. Yeah, there we go. Forgot the antennas. Judgmental mantis. Just like, they just look up at me like, you want to go? I will fuck your shit up. I'm like, okay, mantis. Please don't bite me. Not that I think a mantis can do much damage, but... just imagine that this thing's like staring at me like, round one, fight! Let's see if I can find some. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's try this. I will figure out how to use these Clip Studio assets. Yeah, there we go. Just like, come at me, scrub. And this is an example of sketches getting too far out of hand. Let's do that. I need to save this, because it'll be really funny later. So save. So yeah, I was never much of a bug person, but volunteering might be turning me into a little bit of a bug person. And I might be able to make my goal of holding a tarantula before I die without crying. Should that day happen, I will make sure to get photographic proof. Erase. Judgmental. Yes. I will learn to draw mantises better some other day. But yeah, one of the black dragon, black tree monitors. They're not dragons. But he's so old. He's actually tied for the oldest tree monitor living in captivity. So, hang on, Voldemort. You can get that title. And, so he's so old, he can't climb trees anymore. He lives on the ground. And he's also, like, has really bad eyesight because of age. So when he gets fed, we have to go into the enclosure with him and sit next to him and usually, like, pet him awake, like, wake up, old man, it's time for lunch. And once he wakes up, then we have to put his food right in front of his face so that he can eat it. And he also has not a huge appetite for a tree monitor because he's old. He gets filled very fast. So he got fed 3 dubia roaches and then fell asleep. Just fell asleep. Right back to napping. Couldn't nudge him back for more. And so I'm kind of stoked that, like, yay, I get to pet a tree monitor. But not stoked because, like, I have to pet a tree monitor as part of the waking him up duties to make sure he's alive. Like, Foldy, are you alive? Don't necessarily want to be the one that finds him dead. Knowing my luck, that's what's gonna happen. How do we know that he died of old age and you didn't just do something to hurt him? I swear I walked in and I gave him his pets and he didn't wake up. Your Honor, I did not kill that lizard. Also talking with a couple of the zookeepers, apparently there is potential hope in, if I wanted to go into this as a actual thing, I could, so yeah, that could be fun. Do zookeeping during the day and then comics at night. For anybody wondering why I'm coloring outside of the lines, it's because I'm stupid and forgot that I have a tool for that. I'm so smart. Bye, enchilada! Same to you. Have a good everything, and I think yeah, Australia's going into summertime now, so cool. Well, warm for you guys. It's getting cool here. And I think I'm gonna finish these 3 panels, the backgrounds, and then call it quits after I get that. Well, if I get it done before 9, shouldn't take me too long. What was I doing? Oh, it was this. Aha. Why? That's the skylight. Here in the bay, we've been getting... Not now, iTunes. Oh, how cold is it supposed to get? The warmest it got today is 63 degrees Fahrenheit. But the coldest it's been getting is 40s. So the rest of the week it's supposed to be 45 degrees below at night. So we get cold at night. And what is that in Celsius? Okay, so it's been getting to 9 degrees Celsius at night. Why won't you let me do both? Where are my extra stuff? Sketch. Stop. Sure, let's go with that. Control C. Control V. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, it's getting cold. Bye. Do. Gonna finish some stuff so that I can go watch videos. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. And then outside the windows, I can label my stuff correctly. Just mildly scared myself with the mixing my wassail, because I watched something involving a breakdown of Get Out, and there's that whole thing where she's like hypnotizing the guy with the spoon in her tea. And oh shit, he is? Patrick Stump? I'll have to keep an ear out for him. I only get to catch up on stuff on Prime when I go visit my dad, because I am not giving any more money. If I can, like, I try not to give money to dude, bro. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he plays Abel? Okay. The last time I was at my dad's, I watched the first 2 episodes. That's pretty bitchin'. Hi, Mama. Oh my god, that'd be crazy if they got a... God, why can't I remember his name? He became a really famous comic book creator. Oh, that's gonna bother me. What is his name? Yeah, Costco over Prime any day. I'm gonna see his name and then I'm gonna be so mad that I couldn't remember it. Gerard Way. Hi, baby. You gonna come hang out for the last couple minutes? Excellent. Pirate's life for me. Okay, so you guys can't see this. I'm gonna see if I can get the camera on me, because Riley's being ridiculous right now. Hey, Tim, now's your time to duck. Okay, so Riley, you absolute butthead. Riley. Yeah, she is. Hi, butthead. You silly, silly cat. Oh, there's a lizard. You guys got some cat cam. Oh my. And there we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shit, no. There we go. That one. I need that color, and I need that color. I need to look up Fall Out Boy again, because it's been their last record that I got was Mania. I don't even know any new stuff that they've been doing. Oh, that's the wrong side. Trim? You mean wall stuff? Almost done, and then I can watch. Well, I've already watched it. I'm introducing Tim to a spooky thing. And last one. Yay. That means I've got 3 more backgrounds to do. But that is an excellent start. Huh. Gecko, what are you doing to that isopod? I'm gonna make this bigger because this isopod is, like... There's a gecko, like, just hanging out with this isopod. Not trying to eat it, just has a hand on it. That's hilarious. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it there because I finished what I wanted to do. And I'm gonna get ready to feed the cats because they are acting ridiculous. And gonna end the night with some sketching and YouTube. So have a good evening. See you guys next week. If you're on the Discord, I will see you on the Discord with more choice memes and such. And yeah, see y'all next week. Be cool to each other. And yeah, we'll get through these trying times.